That's a good sign. Give the ball to the belly of Jonah Coleman, the Arizona transfer. He's past the 40, and he's into Weber State territory. Welcome to Husky Nation, Jonah Coleman. Huskies driving. Flag down, end zone touchdown. Jonah Coleman was a free play. Had a defender still trying to get to the sideline, but Jonah Coleman finds the end zone.
Just take a look right here. Here's the right side of this offensive line. Watch them wash this Weber State pressure down. Look at this. They're running pressure. Bang. That's a really great block right there.
Remember, Washington's going to get that second half kick. Give it to Coleman. And across the 20-yard line. Just past the original line of scrimmage. Third down and long after the gain of 12.
He is fun to watch, man.
Out for the remainder of the game.
Thanks so much, Brooke. We get a first down carry. Jonah Coleman again out in the loose to the 35-yard line. Drive that started at their own 10-yard line. Handoff. Coleman up the middle and touchdown. His second of the night.
And who did he run over? I'm just saying. There's a point with all this. The entire offensive line is doing a great job right now, especially the run game. And we're going to take another look at it. Did he actually get across the line, Jake? What do you think? He's looking at it? Let's see. I mean, as aggressive as he's run all night, I wouldn't doubt it.
Look at his legs churning, though. Right?
Loss of 10. Rogers. Screen game out to Coleman. Coleman up the middle. Still on his feet. Near a first down.
Already proven what he's been able to do. Now we can just focus on the guys and just really build off of that.
Jonah Coleman. Determination down to the 1.
You can't teach that.
Tight formation up front. Give it to Coleman. Full head of steam into the end zone.
Without a doubt.
3 for Jonah Coleman in his Husky debut.
Jake, they brought in short motion to constrict the formation, if you will.
The biggest blemish for either of the quarterbacks today was Cole Snyder's fumble, which Washington then turned into points. Jonah Coleman! Jonah Coleman! Known for breaking tackles, but he's got some wheels too! Picking them up and putting them down and shoot up a lot of the field all the way down to the 16-yard line.
You know, Mark, when we were walking the field today, we came across Jonah Coleman as he was warming up, and I said, I am so proud of this young man because he runs with such a great... I think he had the comfort and about his offensive line, but it has definitely taken the next step today.
Here's Jonah Coleman, high-stepping and running so hard down near the 40-yard line of Eastern Michigan.
First drive for his offense, netted -1 yard. Will Rogers sets up the screen to Coleman. Gets a block. He's got a lane. Stiff arm at the finish. When Rogers was at Mississippi State, hopes he can bring him back here. Jonah Coleman, good cut, and now a race. Stiff arm, and another. Ho, ho, ho. Kapenagushikin finally pushed him out, but that's a gain of 29.
As he gets through the line of scrimmage, he's going to be out in space. Nice block by the receiver, little juke there. Then a stiff arm.
Jonah Coleman kicks it outside. That was a wise choice. First down, Huskies. Now inside of Washington State territory.
This could be a big play. It's a first down and more for Coleman.
End in that I formation, lined up as a fullback. He's moving pretty good.
Rogers completes underneath to Coleman. Coleman hurdling a would-be tackler inside the 20 in a spectacular move.
But Hunter did a nice job.
Rogers handoff to the goal line. Touchdown Huskies.
It's a change, baby. I feel I'm like them bones.
DeMond Williams Jr. has come in as a Wildcat quarterback, number 2. And on the read, he gives it to Coleman. And Jonah Coleman pops it past midfield, just into Rutgers territory, a gain of 12. Out of the shotgun. Jonah Coleman is with him. Oh, nice change of direction by Coleman. And that's Rogers out in front of him throwing a block. How about that? Coaches are really adjusting to it differently based on whether they were in the pros at one time or not. And look at this. Coleman, and it pops free. Absolutely huge hole. And he gets it all the way out past the 40 to the 39. And Longerbeam with the tackle, and he's down on the field. And if he's hurt, that is a brutal loss for Rutgers defensively.
Offensive line does a great job of getting to the second level. And when you get to the second level, there's not much. It's the undisciplined play that stopped them.
Yes, he's right about that. Look out! Jonah Coleman. He may take it the distance. Shoestring tackle inside the 20 to the bottom of your screen. And this one pops free for Jonah Coleman. He's picking them up and putting them down inside the 25.
I saw you with a perplexed look. So they threw the interception at the 37. Now they start at the 32. And there goes Jonah Coleman. First and goal.
Well, again, this is what makes him special. His ability to jump cut. Watch the first cut. He starts inside. Boom. Right.
Jumbo set. Back to Coleman. Over the top. No doubt about this one. Touchdown, Washington.
Oh, I love the toughness. Hurdles the line of scrimmage and gets the touchdown. Up and over. Ball clearly across the plane.
Ever has in this NFL-style offense. And they'll hand it again. Little duck by Coleman. He gets to the outside with a jagged dart.
Made the other one. I'm still going to kick on 4th and 10.
They might need it too as Coleman goes straight ahead and just barrels through all the way to the 39-yard line on 2nd and 6. And they'll run it. It's Coleman pinballing off a tackler and seeking contact. He became a Scud missile.
Back to Jonah Coleman. Coleman breaks through across midfield, a stiff arm, and Coleman is going to get deep into Indiana territory. Finally pushed out at the 20. He gives it off to Jonah Coleman, and Coleman turns the corner and picks up a first down. A huge chunk play for him.
The Huskies are more comfortable with their offense on the field.
Coleman gets it, sidesteps one. There goes Coleman. Touchdown, Washington. Man, Jonah Coleman. So many options right now with Williams at quarterback. Handoff, Coleman bounces left side, end zone, touchdown. Too easy for Jonah Coleman. That's right, that's 2.
Ram with breakaway speed. Bang, presses the hole, bounces it outside, and you're not catching him from.
NFL prospect is double teamed and running away from him. It's Coleman into open space. Shoulder pad driving. He's in for a touchdown.
Confirm that this scores. Looks like the nose of that ball is over.
That's the very good run defense of UCLA. They do try it on the ground for the first time. And with all that action through the air, it opens up Jonah Coleman for a first down. It didn't come out. 6-yard hit for Williams on back-to-back runs. Coleman bursts into the second level. And inside the 10. First and goal from the 2. And Coleman says goodnight.
It's Coleman again, and this time he goes right up the middle for the touchdown.
Really nice block by the freshman tight end, Decker DeGraff. You're going to see him come across the formation right here and get a nice block, and he is improved week by week. this team today did on that one.
From that pocket like that, it's like playing AAU football out there for him right now.
Need to get to the 48 for a first down, and here's Coleman. He's got a whole bunch more than that.
Portland Suburb made a big stop. Now Williams on 4th and 1, and they'll throw it underneath, and Root to easily pick up the first down. Jonah Coleman, and picks up a lot more than the first down. Ball's inside the 30 to the 28 of Colorado State, a gain for 22.
Well, as a proud alum, I heard the rumblings when it came to number 72, John Mills, how excited they are. And this is a great job, a great drive, and this is a great way to finish it.
As a party, a big block, the run by Coleman, he's in, touchdown! They run behind the right side, not the left side, and Coleman scores from 26 yards out. Huskies convert on the first drive of the season.
Mark, that offensive line did a phenomenal job at blocking the front seven, isolating Jonah Coleman to be on a positive.
Coach Jay Norvell and defensive coordinator Tyson Summers raved about him because he's young and he's a captain. And he makes another tackle, but this one way farther downfield on the run. The burst by Jonah Coleman. Now 2nd and 10. Cut back run, Jonah Coleman. First down, Jonah Coleman.
Good job by the offensive line.
Great jump cut leads to a 13-yard run, and now it's hammered right in the A-gap by Coleman. First down.
To Muhammad, first down.
That's a conversion on a 3rd down and 12. Now Jonah Coleman's back in after Muhammad made his presence felt, and Coleman, who had 5 games last year, his receiving prowess at tight end, and he helped throw a block. Now Jonah Coleman, another jump cut. That is really in his bag, the jump cut. Coleman, 1st and goal from the 3. Well, he just had to wait a few seconds.
Will not be denied.
Jonah Coleman runs it in. 17 unanswered for Washington, and they lead 38-21, or will if they hit the extra point.
Now they're creating some separation between them and this feisty Rams team, Colorado.
This time, give it to Coleman. And he has space. Coleman breaking tackles to the 15. On this first drive of the game. Right back to Coleman. This time takes it to the outside, and Coleman not waiting around. It's a touchdown.
We started off talking about this offense with the...
They're telling him, hey, slide once in a while, kid. Give to Coleman, muscling in for the score. He says they're too small. He might be right. 2 rushing touchdowns for Coleman today.
.56 on this line, the Hatchet boys.
It's a pitch to the outside. That's going to be an easy first down for Coleman, and he's got some more as well. He stays on his feet, brought out of bounds by Rex Connors.
Getting physically better at the same time.
Going quick here. Coleman's going to take it, looking for his 3rd touchdown. And he's in standing up. Jonah Coleman will not be denied.
UW says you can change your tempo, we could change.
Out of bounds if it was shy of the 35, but it went well past the 35, and so that's where the ball is placed. There's Williams on the screen pass, Coleman. There's a flag down, looked like on the hit on Williams, and Coleman making his way well past midfield. 2nd and 3. Can it become a 4th touchdown? Yes! Jonah Coleman, a career-high 4th rushing touchdown. Let's remember, very different from last year when they had a pocket passing quarterback in Rodgers. Coleman twisting, efforting, is in. A 5th rushing touchdown from Jonah Coleman.
You see Jonah Coleman, he does his counting and he counts all the touchdowns on all the fingers, but
2nd down and 10.
to Coleman. Jonah broke into secondary. Jonah Coleman all the way down to the 45-yard line of Ohio State.
Pressure up the middle because they're setting up the screen. Jonah Coleman gets a block and a first down. Damon Williams, he'll get it, and he breaks in. Washington leads for the first time today. Maryland trails for the first time this year. Under 15 and a half minutes. The nation's leading touchdown scorer on the ground adds another.
41 yards followed by 12 yards on the first two plays tonight for Washington. Jonah Coleman's first carry shakes loose, and he's just tripped up at the last moment near the 25.
10 touchdowns on the year. They're going to try and get him number 11 right here.
It is Coleman straight up the gut, and the nation's leader in total touchdowns adds one more. Almost 300 yards since those first two drives. Rolls out, makes it another completion to Jonah Coleman for a first down, and he's across midfield.
For Washington, Williams underneath. Coleman with space. Coleman puts on the juice and gets out of bounds as he crosses midfield. 44 seconds remaining. Coleman straight ahead. Touchdown, Huskies.
I tell you, what a series from Washington. Great push in the offensive line. Coleman is able to just get right behind those guys, dig his way into the goal line.
Set up, Boston. He's going to throw it. He's got a wide open man. Touchdown! Jonah Coleman scores. Boston threw it. Jed Fish opening the bag of tricks.
Yes, he is. That's a beautiful play call, and just the timing of it as well. Yeah, such.
Officials allowing substitution. Coleman right up the gut. Still on his feet across the 50. Coleman's on the move and down to the 35-yard line. There's a big burst in the running game. Traditional I formation of Big Ten football. There's Coleman outside. Coleman on his feet. Coleman dives. Touchdown, Huskies. Second score of the game for Jonah Coleman.
Man, how good is Jonah Coleman? He can run through you. He can run around you. He can jump over you. Williams to Coleman. Stood up. And the extra efforts.
To be short. And how about the fight of these Bruins? Well, I'm sure we'll look at that.
Really jumps off the page. He's had an outstanding season this year for Washington.
Little option, pitch to Coleman, and he's tripped up and keeps his balance inside the 40-yard line and out of bounds. First down on the 17 of Boise. On the cutback, Coleman hand fighting with the defenders inside the 10 and out of bounds inside the 5. But what a run by Jonah Coleman. You can see why a lot of scouts. They'll run Coleman, and he gets a first down and more. Finally brought down at the 32.
But I like both of the home teams in those matchups.
Third and goal. And this is a walking touchdown for Jonah Coleman in his final game as a Husky.
What's really good